The YTPC, Joshua Stewart, Pipe Up North. Hope you all had a good week. This week's probably a little bit better than last week for me. But you know, right away, I'm enjoying a little bit of Ken Byron Ventures Van Gogh. Enjoying it in my Kaywoodie Filter Pipe. Now, if you followed the channel, I did do my first impressions on this a couple of weeks ago, and I wasn't overly impressed. And I think I've updated since then that I'm coming around to it, and I would have to say that, yeah, I am coming around to it. But, yeah. So, yeah, I'm finding that it's not staying lit very well anymore that I'm talking, but I'm probably a half hour into this bowl, and I probably got half of it left, so I haven't really had to relight too many times until I started talking here. But yeah, I saw Ken Byron. I'm recording this, it's kind of late Saturday night right now. Ken Byron Ventures had a drop of a bunch of stuff this afternoon, and the whole TAD kicked in a little bit. Of course, some of it was already sold out, but I did get a couple of them that I'd been wanting to try for a while. So once they come in, I might share a little bit what I got, what I'm getting. It doesn't want to stay lit too good when I'm talking now. Unless it's further done than it looks like. But last weekend when I was up north, it was hitting the Escudo pretty hard. I hadn't had much of that for a long time, and man, I forgot how much I like that stuff. Well, I didn't forget about it, how much I liked it. I knew I liked it, but so yeah, in fact, I brought with probably a dozen different blends when I was up north, and I think Escudo was all I had. I only was able to have a couple bowls a day, but I think most of them, I think the only pipe I used was my Marksman Meerschaum lined. I don't know if you can see a little bit of the Meerschaum lining there. Man, it smoked good in that pipe. I suppose it's got that taller, narrower bowl that a lot of Virginias supposedly are good in. And when was it? Yesterday, Friday, had a bowl of it in this pipe, and it didn't work in this pipe. I don't know if I'd had too many like Lakelands in this, but I was getting a Lakeland Ghost of some sort coming through that just didn't work. I guess if there is any Lakeland Ghost left in here, it's working with this, with the Van Gogh. So anyway, I think I updated you a little bit on the Tuesday video. My wife hit a deer last weekend with the car, and kind of went back and forth, like I said, about whether I should bother to turn it into insurance, because we had a little bit higher deductible than the standard. We've got $1,000 deductible on our comp and collision on that vehicle. And I'm the kind of person that if I got a $1,000 deductible, I'm probably not gonna bother turning in a claim until probably 1,500 or 2,000. So had the wife bring it to a body shop on Monday afternoon. Just to, I wasn't worried about getting a detailed estimate. Just kind of wanted to know, is it going to be worth turning into insurance? And they looked at it and, you got like $4,000 damage here or more. So it's like, okay, that's all we need. So I did file a claim with insurance, and they didn't have an actual adjuster come out. They just had me take a bunch of pictures, and I got the summary, I guess, of damage that in the kind of proposal, and I could probably get a little bit more out of them, but and what they're proposing, I guess it seems fair to me, especially my thought with having the higher deductible was that for small things I can fix them myself, and then what the labor that would go to the body shop I can use myself to cover the deductible, unless it's like a really super major claim or something that's a rollover or something like that. I'm not going to mess with anything structural or major suspension work or anything like that. But you hit a deer and you're just replacing a couple of body panels. I might have the body shop actually paint the new panels, but yeah, I've done that before on other vehicles, so it's within the realm of what I'm comfortable doing. So I'll probably start by ordering some of the parts that I'm going to need, and hopefully get them in here next week, and maybe start doing some prep on some of the stuff next weekend. And now the car is still drivable, but the wife, she doesn't want to take it out of town just because she's worried something's going to fly off. And I mean, it's full of duct tape right now holding everything together. But it's a white car, and we got white duct tape, so it only looks kind of bad, not really bad. Well, I guess it is really bad. It looks really bad, I should say. But then on Tuesday afternoon, I think I'd mentioned a while back that my youngest daughter's car was having some transmission issues, and it's an older vehicle too, and just kind of determined that it needed a new transmission. Kind of went back and forth on, do we fix it? Because she really liked the car. And do we fix it or just get her something different? Well, we ended up getting her something different. Same make, same model, same color. And it's only a year older, so I mean, side by side, you can't hardly tell the cars apart, other than say it's a lower trim level. So she's a little bit disappointed about some of that because it doesn't have the automatic headlights like her old one did, or the backup sensors and all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's basically the same car, so she likes it. In fact, I think it's got about the same amount of miles and stuff on too, so. Got that thing, got it for a pretty fair price. Of course, one of the reasons why it was a fair price is it only had one key that came with it. So I went to our local hardware store, and small town mom and pop hardware store. I love giving them business whenever I can because I've known the owners for 20 years or better, or second generation owner I've known for 20 years, and his dad had it before that. So the owner, he was in there today, and of course, when you're the owner of a small town hardware store, he was just doing some maintenance on the inside of the building. And, one of those deals where as soon as someone walks in, they drop what they're doing. What can I help you with? So I said, need a key. Told them what it was for and that it was one of those transponder keys. I said, do you do those? Well, yeah, we can do that. And I knew it wasn't going to be cheap, but $99. It's like not cheap, but I'm here now, and you can do it, so let's do it. So he found the key and cut it and took his little programmer out to the car, and 5 minutes had it programmed, and went back in and paid, and he sent me on my way. So love it when things like that work out. I'd rather not spend $100 on a key, but I think for one of our other cars we had to spend like $350 on a spare key, so $100 isn't too bad. In fact, that $350 one or whatever it was, he said that, oh, well, we could have done that. And it's like, oh, well, now I know. Because I checked with our local locksmith in town first to get a key, and he didn't deal with those. He says, oh, those need some fancy, computer program thing that he didn't have. He could do the basic stuff, but not that. And so he said, you got to go to a dealer or go to, one of the bigger locksmiths in a bigger town, and they can do it for you. So got a quote from the Ford dealer, and I think they were over $500 for a new key for that thing. So we went to the independent locksmith, and like I say, it was still like $350, but that car's got the push button start where you don't have to actually put the key in the ignition or anything. You just have the key like on your person, or for the wife in her purse, or I always have it in my pocket. Push the start button and go. We're supposed to go to my nephew's basketball tournament today. He's elementary age. I don't remember what he's in, 4th grade, something like that. We were going to go to one a couple weeks ago, but something came up that we couldn't make it. That one was only an hour away. But this one was almost 2 hours away. But it's like we try to make it to one event of all the nieces and nephews every year. Of course, we got a little bit of a snowstorm. Wasn't quite as bad in the Twin Cities area, or even the area where the tournament was at, but up in our area we kind of got blasted a little bit with some snow. So we ended up not going and spent a couple hours blowing snow today. But got everything cleared out, and it was relatively mild temperatures for middle of winter. It was, I think we were like 10 or 15 above, and it was sunny, and so some of the snow was melting off the cars and stuff and the sidewalks. So at least when the sun was out and it went behind a cloud, everything would freeze up again. But you get a good strong sun shining down on that stuff, it melts it pretty well, even if it's below freezing out. But so yeah, that's basically been the week. Had a little thing happen on, I think it was Thursday at work too, that one of the production machines out on the floor, or work cells or whatever you want to call it, they were having an issue, and there was like 4 engineers scratching their head on how to fix this thing, and they had a couple of the maintenance guys there that were kind of throwing some ideas around. So the head manufacturing engineer, he came and grabbed me and said, "I need to pick your brain a little bit." So he took me back there and explained the situation, and I said, "Well, can you do this?" And he said, "No, we can't do that because of this and this and this." Like, okay, well, can you do this? He's like, "I don't know." And he's looked at one of the maintenance guys. "Can we do this?" And the maintenance guy said, "Oh yeah, that won't be a big deal to do that." So kind of checked with a few other people. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So then he's like, "How long is it going to take you?" I said, "Well, allow me a day, because I'm a machinist, tool maker, so I cut metal for a living." I said, "Well, it'll probably take me a day to do what needs to be done on it, or allow a day," I think is what I said. And so then he knew how much time he needed to do the redesign and get it through update all the prints and stuff in the system, and all the setup procedures and stuff that are going to need to be done for this modification. And he got me what I needed by Friday morning, and by about noon Friday I had it done, because I was able to start on my end of stuff a little bit on Thursday afternoon before he had his part done. So like Friday noon I had my part done and passed it off to the maintenance guys, and they did their part on it, and by like 2 o'clock it was ready to go. So he was like, "Already? Really? I wasn't expecting to be able to run this thing again until Tuesday." So he was pretty excited about that, and got the attaboy and all that fun stuff. So but we still don't know if it actually works or not. So they're going to be testing it Monday morning right away and make sure it works the way that we all hope and expect that it should. Always potential for massive failures too, but so anyway, and what do we got going on this week? I'll probably go watch the Super Bowl tomorrow afternoon. I suppose most of you'll be seeing this on Sunday, so it'll be tonight by that time, but usually we go to my wife's sister's place to watch the Super Bowl, so they make all the food that's good but not good for you to eat for it during it. And my niece's boyfriend usually is there. He's a really big Eagles fan, but he's a little superstitious, I think, because he doesn't want to be there because last time he was there and the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, they lost. So he thinks it's because he was at my sister-in-law's place. So he's going to watch it with some friends at one of their places. But may or may not have something that he doesn't want to hang out with a bunch of people in their 40s and 50s. Which, if I was a young man in my 20s, I'd probably rather hang out with people my own age too. So, and then I've been rehydrating some of those tobaccos that I picked up last weekend. I think they're pretty close to about right. The old Dill's Best, got it right there. That one I'm not going to rehydrate the whole thing. I just have, well, the container and everything that I got it in weighed 15 grams when I start, and now that it's partially rehydrated, it's up to 16 grams. Got a little kitchen scale over here that I can use for stuff like that. So, and it's close to where I think it should be, but we'll give it another day or two to hydrate a little bit. And that Irish whiskey, that's getting pretty close too. So that one I'm rehydrating basically the whole tin. So hopefully I don't overdo it and it'll start molding on me. But yeah, that's why I'm not rehydrating the whole tin of the Dill's Best, is because I'd hate to screw something up and mess it up worse than it is. So yeah, probably tomorrow or Monday that should be where it needs to be. So with that, I think that's about all we got for today. Catch up with you again sometime next week, probably on Tuesday. So with that, this is Joshua Stewart, Pipe Up North. Have a good day.